So I know that for many of you out there, one of the most anticipated features you are looking forward to seeing when Project Resolve goes live next month is the fact that you are going to have the ability to reconfigure any exotic weapon in the game, and you have the option of doing that as many times in a row as you like until you get the third attribute of your choosing. Now, because of that feature, many of you have reached out to the channel. You have questions on how it's going to work. So today, my friends, I'm going to try to answer as many as I possibly can. What is going on, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and the number one question you are sending the channel about this feature, and this is a concern for many people out there, is if you're going to lose the expertise in a weapon you have previously upgraded if you choose to reconfigure it to try to get a random third attribute. Now, the short answer is no. So if that's all you needed to hear, my fellow agents, consider yourself, informed. You can totally take off, but for everyone else, I want to give you an example of exactly what I'm talking about. Now, to do that, we are going to use one of my exotics. We're just going to use a chatterbox, as I want to show you exactly what you're going to see when you try to reconfigure one of these weapons. And obviously, if things change when Project Resolve goes live, I will bring you an updated version at that point. Now, first of all, for those of you that may not know, up until some of the most recent exotic weapons were introduced into the game, we never even had the option of having a random bonus for that third attribute. So to give you a quick example, you can see we're looking at St. Elmo's, and that third attribute is a random bonus, which means I could re-roll this thing over and over again, and I could get a different attribute each time. However, when we look at the Scorpio, you can see that that third attribute is locked to crit hit damage, but that is going to change to random bonus once we get the next title update, and that is going to hold true for every single exotic weapon in the game. Now, that probably means many of you out there are going to want to reconfigure multiple exotic weapons you have in your inventory, and I want to show you once again you are not going to lose that expertise. Now, in order to do so, I'm going to give you an example on screen. You can see I'm using the chatterbox. It is at expertise level 3, and you can see when we look at the core attributes exactly where I'm sitting with my SMG damage, my crit hit chance, and my crit hit damage on this version of the weapon. Now, that is going to take us to two very important details anytime you reconfigure an exotic in the game. First of all, always remember you are never creating an additional exotic. You are completely and totally destroying your old one and creating a new one. And keep in mind as I say that, the new one you created may be worse than the one you just broke down. Remember, it is all completely and totally random, so you may have to do this multiple times, especially if you're trying to get a certain version with a random bonus as that third attribute. So always make sure you take that into consideration anytime you attempt to do this. Make sure you have enough resources. And secondly, and probably the most important detail we have to go over, is that the first thing you need to do when you finally get the version of the weapon you want is you need to go to your inventory. You need to mark it as a favorite because it is considered brand new. You can see the indication right next to the weapon, and you'll also notice on this page in the bottom right hand corner there is a prompt that says mark as. You're going to press that. You will mark this thing as a favorite. That will ensure you do not accidentally delete the thing. Trust me, my fellow agents, I have done it before and it absolutely sucks. Now, as most of you know, when Project Resolve is introduced into the game at the beginning of February, we are going to see a major decrease in the cost of what it takes to actually level up your expertise on your weapons, gear, and items. Now, some of you are wondering, is the game going to somehow compensate players who have already maxed certain things out? Honestly, my fellow agents, I do not see that being the case. As of my recording that video, we have gotten no information in regard to that, but obviously, if there's any more info passed along, I promise to bring it to you right away. With all that being said, I'm going to start to wrap this up. Now, I failed to mention this at the beginning of the video, but most of you know we do have giveaways here. You can see our current one is for an Xbox Series S. To enter, all you need to do is subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced April 4th of this year. On that note, I want to thank you all for your incredible support of this channel. I sincerely appreciate the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.